Hello friends, I am Umesh Pandey. In last video, we have seen the build process in embedded system. In this video, we are going to study the embedded system in detail. So this is what a diagram which we have studied last video. There are three software tools we are using in build process: compiler, linker, and locator. So in this video, we are going to study these software tools in more detail. The first thing is compiler. We have seen that in embedded system program, we can use the multiple languages. So multiple languages required their multiple types of compiler, or assembly language program required assembler. So what is the job of compiler or assembler? So compiler translates program written in human readable language into machine language. So whatever the program we have written, that is called as a source code. So this compiler converts that source code into its object file. Now what does this object file means? Object file is a binary file that contains set of machine language instructions and data resulting from the language translation process. So this object file is nothing but the combination of zeros and one, the language which machine understand. So this object file, which is consisting of zeros and ones, this is again specific to a particular processor. Its structure will be different in 8085 and 8051 and some other processor. So it is a processor specific file will be created. The cross compiler. Before studying the cross compiler, we should understand the concept of host platform and target platform. Host platform is a computer platform where we write the code, we debug the code, and the target platform where we execute our code. So in embedded system, these two platforms are different. So job of cross compiler is what? To produces the code for another computer platform. So cross compiler runs on one computer platform, that is host platform, and produces the code for another computer platform, that is called as target platform. All this object file resulting from the compiler, these object files should have standard format. So there are two standard formats are available. One is common object file format and other is extended linker format. Now what is the difference between these two? Extended linker format has more debugging capabilities than common object file format. The extended linker format is richer in information than the older common object file format. The ELF, that is extended linker format, overcomes the limitations of the older common object file format, that is COFF, such as absence of standard representation of the long data types. So this is what the standard format which is used by object file. So object file can use one of these two formats. This object file has a certain structure in it. So there are different sections are there in object file. There is a text section which contains the code block of your program. Then data section is there for handling the initialized global variables, and uninitialized global variables are stored in BSS section. Now the next point is unresolved references. As you know that we are using multiple source files. So sometimes we may declare a variable or function in one source file, but it is used in some other source file. In this case, it is called as unresolved references. Some of the variables and functions which are defined in one source file, whose reference may found be in some other source file, then that is called as unresolved reference. So this is what the compiler means. Now the next software tool is linker. Linker is what? It is combining all the objects file together. So as you know, the structure of object file is what? Text section, data section, BSS section. So all the text sections of all the object files will be combined together to form single text section. all the data sections of all the objects file will be combined together to form single data section, and similarly BSS section. So this resultant object file from the linker is called as relocatable. So linker combines all the objects file together to form a single object file that is called as relocatable. Linker also tries to resolve the unresolved references. As we are discussing compiler, the unresolved references are those in which the variables or functions defined in one source file, but their reference code found in some other source file. Since linker combining all the objects file together, the reference can be resolved. That is what the main thing about the linker. Sometimes it also happens that there are multiple source file we are using, so we may have a same variable, name of the variable same in two different source file. If linker observe that there are two variables with the same name, then it likely to appeal the programmer by displaying an error message and it exits. Now, suppose after doing all these things, suppose the references are not resolved, then linkers try to resolve their references on their own. So it may examine the symbol table in libraries or to resolve the references. So our entire embedded system application, including the operating system, is almost always statically linked together and executed as a single binary image. So your object file is a combination of operating system code and your actual program code. So this is a linker. Now next tool is Locator. So Locator is a tool that performs the conversion from the relocatable program to executable binary image. So the input for the Locator is relocatable program, that is a single object file which is produced by the linker, and its output is a single executable binary image. This binary image is in .exe format or .hex format. So what is the job of Locator? So this Locator assigns physical memory addresses to the code and data section within the relocatable program. As we have discussed earlier, in embedded system we are writing the code on a host platform. So that is called as there is logical address. But actually this code is going to be copied into the chip or target platform. So we need to assign that memory location to this particular program. So we are assigning the physical address to logical address. So that is what the job of Locator. The Locator produces a binary memory image that can be loaded into the target ROM. In many cases, the Locator is separate development tool. However, in some of the cases, this functionality is built right into the linker. So these are the three software tools: compiler, linker, Locator, which are mainly used in build process. Thank you. So we'll see you in the next video.